Dr. P.P. Shashikumar. Warm welcome to you, sir.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
Today, we are going to hear from Shashikumar sir on this. Sees the new normal into opportunity post-COVID. Past President of TMA, Managing Committee members, members of TMA, office bearers of TMA, invited guests, students, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I welcome all of you webinar. And today, as I mentioned earlier, we are very fortunate to get such an eminent faculty, Dr. P.P. Shashikumar, especially on this important topic, sees the new normal into opportunity post-COVID. Especially, we are hearing about the remote working, maybe going to be new normal. ATM, SoftBank, going to the virtual branches of the bank. Especially in the education sector, earlier we used to tell our children, don't use the mobile, don't use the computer during your studies or TV. Now, it is going to be the new normal. All classes are in online platform and the interest channel is there in TV for conducting their classes. Anyway, Shashikumar sir will talk about all this. Was a scientist in space department for 2 decades with the ISRO in its Bangalore headquarters as well as in Ahmedabad and Hyderabad. He was director at Academic Staff College under University Grants Commission at University of Calicut, and was deputy director at the Directorate of General Security, Cabinet Secretariat at New Delhi. Before taking a voluntary retirement in 2009, he opted to be in academics and mentoring youth, to create dreams in them and enrich their skills towards national building. He also conducts teachers training session as he believes that teachers are one who make tomorrow's citizens. He teaches them what is effective and effective teaching and educational techniques. Dr. TPS reached over 600,000 teachers and 1 million students through his lectures in commercial colleges to schools across the country and abroad, redefining learning and teaching towards adapting environment with activity-filled classrooms, clearly defining goals, roles, and values, what makes his classes memorable. He also conducted holiday sessions in Hyderabad in Shisha holiday program, where a lot of engineering students are attending this program. He's also had 2-year tenure as management course in Engineering College under Jawaharlal Nehru Technical Technology University at Hyderabad. He is always available for all students from any part of the globe for doubts regarding any subject, life, career, and so on, through his personal meetings, phone, email, social media like Facebook, Twitter, and so on. He wrote many books also. Life Made Simple, Life of Love, Rhythm of Life, Life is Life, Life Reflections, and so on. And today, he is going to deliberate on the topic, sees the new normal into opportunity post-COVID. I am sure his experience, whether in space, whether in education, in whatever may be, will be very useful for our members. With this, I proudly introduce our chief guest, Dr. Shashikumar sir. I wish all of you a fruitful session. Thank you very much. Once again, welcome all of you to the TMA's webinar. Over to Shashikumar sir.
Namaskaram to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
We are having, I don't know whether it's a time of troubles or time of fortune, but anyway, we have to face whatever happens in the nature, and it is during this time my brother friend Sukumaran ji introduced me to TMA, and Sony immediately was in contact. Glad for that initiative and the opportunity given to me to talk to people of Thrissur who are into management and business. Namaskaram to all the learned members, and I know Siju is going to give me a thanks, so I must thank him first because I may not get an opportunity to thank him after that. I have 30 to 40 minutes, that is what is given to me, and I wish to cover maybe 7 major topics or maybe subsections of my class or the talk. The first one could be to give a brief abstract plan of how I am going to do it. Then let us think about the base where we are, the footage where we are, that is, think of Kerala, and understand the drops and hopes of under the Indian cover we are. Therefore, we must also look at India as a whole. Look at the philosophy which we can derive to face COVID. That could be the next portion. Maybe as the 5th point, I like to cover little on the economics and technology, which guarantees some fortune for us, especially in the context of COVID, how we can encash them properly. And then we will go to the path of India, learnings and little coverage on that. Then understand what and how we can do in Kerala. So as far as the plan is concerned, I've got a small science experiment probably which people love to look at it. The normal is what is a simple pendulum, but instead of a simple pendulum in the normal style, what I did was I kept a red small stone there, that's a magnet, and under this I have got a metal. Therefore, what happens to this normal life which we had in the event of COVID, you can see what will happen. It goes into a different normal when the system has a jerk, or what I kept is below a small magnet. Once you have got a simple pendulum which is in normal movement, when there is a magnet which is kept below that, the movement will become chaotic. You can see that is jerking. As it started jerking, it identifies a different orientation and then starts orienting. You don't have to require such a difficult system. Probably you can take a small, the eardrop which we have, put another piece beside that. You can see it changes its direction from the horizontal to a vertical. That is what is called a normal in mathematics. The 90 degree is called a normal to this line. So that means you can do this experiment at home. Kids may love to do this. That shows when you have got a simple pendulum, when you have an obstruction or a different gadget below that, it changes its direction. This is what happens to all of us. Every day we go to office and then come back. We are like a simple pendulum in the normal life. But assume that there is a small obstruction which comes. That could be a disease or a gust who comes. Our routine changes into different style. But for some days we have a chaos. So any problem is such a chaos in this world. This is a small physics, but physics is natural law. Natural laws gives to a lot of philosophy. So that is what I mean by the new normal. And how do we grab this opportunity of the 90-degree normal? I have I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. I stands for India, J stands for just in time, K stands for Kerala, L stands for life, M stands for money, N for network or new normal, O for opportunity, and P for process, programs, and post-COVID, what happens to us. Here, the finding the new solution in a problem is like doing a heart surgery when the heart is operational, working. Or maybe you are flying in an aircraft which you are building yourself. That risky is sometime when you are into real problem, tackling problems. But we have a good change. Environment became clean. We could see east from the west of India. And other health problems are not that dominant now. Hospital visits have reduced. We have a clean food at home. Learning life values and lessons have become the day-to-day activity. The troubles always give new opportunities. But what matters is an attitude. I'm sure a vibrant society with a great vision will have this attitude to create new good. But the problem could be, I don't know how many of you have seen today's news in USA, that George Floyd, who was an athlete, who was a footballer, who was killed by a police, murdered by a police, though the police got arrested. The American, don't know whether to call black, but they are. In America, the white and black is seen separate. And that is what especially the minority or economic minority people say now. They are in trouble, they are in the riots. Let us look at Kerala to start with, a quick ramp, that is what we will do. And then how safe India is in this context of the world turmoils, world scenario, and the philosophy. We have a new normal because today positive is a negative news for us. Negative is positive and positive is negative. Earlier people used to say you have to mix with the positive people. Now we say don't touch positive people. Don't mix with the positive people. The positive people are all negative today. Therefore we have a different contradicting life situation. What next for India? Probably we must look at what the World Economic Forum was projecting for the last 5 years or maybe 10 years as the projection of 5G, MIMO, fourth industrial revolution, the dark factory, the Internet of Things and technology, and virtual reality, augmented reality. What are these offering for us? And in Kerala, what could be the immediate action what we have to look at? That could be one basic item which we have to look at. Basically, talking about Kerala, we are living on foreign remittance mostly. 35% of our income is on that, which should not have been the real case. But in the whole, we are the 10th largest economy, in which the foreign remittance itself is 1/5 of the whole Indian as per ratio. We are a service industry society. Dominating the economy in Kerala is just for services, but we fail sometime terribly. Today, most of the news which comes is the popular service which in the, Kerala is looking for is the liquor service, and the app which we created is not functionally very good. So Kerala has got a great phenomena, probably which is a Kerala phenomena or Kerala model, which is called by the economists and political scientists and the sociologists, which are all patronized by any various affiliated government, whether left or right. All of them had a great role in social upliftment of the communities, entire community, totally inclusive and well informed, highly literate society. But when it comes to making a mark in any of this, let that be in education, let that be in industry, we have not made a class by ourselves. So Kerala model was a more socialistic, but we failed in a real great infrastructure generation. That is basically because the Indian economy, we contribute 4%, though the 2.8% of Indian population resides in 1.18% of the geography of India. The Kerala ourselves have emerged mostly in the economy which is given by the Gulf countries, and the remittance, the non-resistant of the resident of Kerala, pumping close to 200 crores daily into the state. Kerala gets roughly 1/5 of NRI remittance of India, but we have not utilized for creating great infrastructure, production oriented investment. Probably we have got great mansions and lot of jewelry shops, lot of executive cars which we have in Kerala, which shows we are rich, but we happens to be a non-productive rich Kerala. Unemployment rate is very high, though the per capita income is very high. That is basically because we are not great contributors for manufacturing, neither in agriculture. Therefore, it is less than 10%. We have not sufficient enough for our daily needs. The paddy, which is our food grain, and the vegetable requirement or the fruits, we always have to depend on the neighboring state. This is the pathetic state of Kerala. In such a state, we had problems. We will have problems if we don't find solutions. This large amount of money which we got from lot of people who migrated outside India for earning more, even if 1% of that money we would have invested back in India or for a productive investment in Kerala, we would have become self-sufficient. The cyclically loss of the jobs of the Gulf people make them to go back to the other nations, other countries for their earning and livelihood, just because we have not invested their own money very majestically looking at, very wisely looking at productive systems. The labor migration started in 1960 probably would have contributed more than 10 trillions of rupees to Kerala. What has happened to that? It has only gone to the consumption or land, real estate or gold. Therefore, almost like a dead investment. The reason could be the systemic rigidities. Both bureaucrats and politicians have a great role not making the investors as investor friendly Kerala to have a confidence in the system. The trade union overkilled most of the interests. The lack of imaginative investment avenues and the absence of visionary policy framework needs to be corrected immediately. If that is not there, probably we will continue to be in the same problem. The migrant laborers in Kerala is almost like 4 million, the 40 lakhs, as the same number of Keralites go abroad for earning more. And the other part of the country who are migrating to Kerala for their livelihood, just because probably Kerala gives a better wage rate when compared to the other part of the country. Leaving their homes, leaving their native places, they come for job in Kerala because of their low wages there, failed crops, family debts, drought, and limited employment opportunities which they have. Kerala is able to support a lot of such people from outside, but this situation continues, we will have problem. The situation is that Kerala youth is not ready to work, and we have to find youth from other part of the country. How long we can depend on some other state for our food and labor, and then continue to be say that we are rich, we are literate, we are socially secured and all that. India is strong, we have great hope. APJ Abdul Kalam had great vision, investing on agriculture, food processing, infrastructure, electricity, healthcare, literacy, education, which was pushed from his time. I was part of that project probably sometime in 2007, 2009 when I was in government in Delhi. We have become one nation if we just think of increasing Indian market for all the purchases. We only depend on Indian manufactured goods. India could become one of the richest country in the world. He had got great points listed, and I'm sure if at least 10 of them would have implemented in the last 15 years, we would have become rich. We only keep political expressions on the interest, but on the ground it doesn't happen. In 2019 August, it was just few months back, in the World Economic Forum, we had Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a high ambition of 9% growth rate in India for continued for 5 years. Maybe we will have a 38% GDP growth to achieve a $5 trillion economy in the whole world. The biggest capital of city in the whole world will become Delhi by 1930. And what is happening to the 80% of the poor Indians? The economic nationalization with a power polarization in the whole world. Is that what we are looking for in a growth or a development? Though we call it as development, it results to be in a growth but no development. That is where Kerala stands separate, that we have a development but not that sort of a growth. The China, always it goes from top to bottom leadership. India has got a parallel setup. We have got strong individuals and strong government. India serving India can increase our GDP very fast. Make in India for India is good. And China, during this loss of business, India is showing a friendly face to the whole nation, the whole world. I am sure the predictions by the whole economist of the world, who says India, which is in the 56th in the growth rate, probably could get into higher and faster from 4.2. That is what the 56th, when we make that statistics, it shows. But if we can get an average to 7% as we were, probably getting into 9%, we could reach into second or first was what is the prediction. Probably if you look at the growth rate of America, the 1.5% has become -2% today. So probably the first or second or third stage, America, India and China are the competitors. And in the new phase what China has, India has got lot of scope for getting into the higher, the GDP, projected GDP for 2050 and 2030 could change the graph, and then India could get a new phase. 1947, when we got independence, we have equated to $1 to 1 rupee. But what has happened today? We are running at 70 and 70, that sort of a rate. We had real inflation, 34.7% inflation during 1974. I think it's the 74 October. What had happened? Manmohan Singh has created a nice paper on the projection of rural and agricultural development. That has been accepted by then the Finance Minister Subramaniam under the leadership of Indira Gandhi, who was listening to Manmohan Singh during that time. Many people think that Manmohan Singh was not into politics, but he was into politics long back by his papers and projections and planning what India has to do. He was a good economics into a good politics, and that was really pumping the requirement of rural and agricultural development. That changed the inflation rate in 18 months of time. From 1974 October to 1976 May, we had the record low of minus 11.3% inflation. That happens only when you have a great philosophy in this world. The philosophy always says, when we have difficulty, optimist sees opportunities in every difficulty. We should not become a pessimist. The difficulty in opportunity is not what we should look at. We should look at opportunity in difficulty. That is what Churchill told once. The sun rises, but if you are too long waiting for the sunrise, you will miss it. Therefore, optimum right time, making use of everything what is best possible, is essential to catch the opportunity. Udyamenaiva siddhyandi karyani manorathai nehi suptasya simhasya pravishyanti mukhe mrigaha. No deer will come and stay at the cave of the lion and ask, you can eat me. The lion has to hunt. Udyamenaiva siddhyanti. Just planning doesn't happen. Action is more important. Karyani manorathai. Not in the mind, it has to come in action. Nehi suptasya simhasya pravishyanti mukhe mrigaha. No deer or rabbit will come to the cave of the lion and ask, you have to eat. The lion has to hunt. Therefore, hunt for opportunities. We are in a situation when theoretically we have learned, when supply or demand impact happens, the business have an impact. But now we are in a situation where both supply and demand both are in impact. So what is to be done? We have just seen the pendulum. The problem is such, we have to go into a different strategy. The supply shock, the global supply chain is disrupted and subdued demand is there. The production has slowed down. Non-performance time is what we are going into through the global emergency. We cannot start off because the supply chain is not internal to Kerala, internal to India, it's global. That is one advantage of becoming the LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization. But in these sort of situations, if business have not jumped into action immediate, we will have a later problem which cannot be repaired. Therefore, the question of priority is it people have to be saved or business have to be saved. We must draw a line in between, a parallel line in between, a balancing of these two, so that this is the time where negative becomes positive and positive becomes negative. Don't mix with the people, but we will have to mix with the positive and negative people. That is essential now. The motivational speakers can say that don't, but we have to get into action. The speeches and lectures and classes and theory has to go. We have to understand the IJKLMNOP, what I said. India, just in time, and Kerala, and L for life, M for money, network, N, and new normal. Find opportunity and get into process and actions and programs. We have theoretically learned a lot of 6M, the models of business management. I too taught an MBA. Manpower, money, machinery, material, market, method, but doesn't work today because we have to look into matter. We need a different meter. We need to modernize. We want to modify. We want to monitor. We want to make something out of all that new technology we have. We have to get into MIMO. There are 2 M's coming. There is a standard 5 C's which are explained in business or in commerce. That's called company, customer, competition, collaboration, climate. That changes. We have to talk to find out our colleagues. We need to find new colleagues, new contract, new cash, new computers. The present computer will not work. We need to get updated faster and faster. The community changes. the method changes, customer changes, the concept changes, the confidence has to change, the care, code of contact, creative, coexistence, communication. We need to change our websites from 4G to 5G, not from people to people, just to go from things to things so that connectivity becomes equal. So we have to net up ourselves. That's the most essential. The community service is no more a question. We need to look for immunity services. The Maslow's hierarchy principle goes, it is not the physical, logical, the physiological requirement as important. We change that logic into the safety becomes more important now. Not the love and blending as the third step we studied, but that has to go. The self-esteem becomes much more important. Therefore, we need to change the business model, business strategy, business theory into some new world of confusion, difficulty around us. When we are, all of us are confused, if somebody says I am not confused, something wrong with him, because you have to be more social. In the middle of difficulty lies the opportunity. And wow, who is wiser today? Creating new opportunity for not the self life, but the community life is the most wisest fellow in the world. But it is not that simple. We have a great theory which is called Anna Karenina principle. I know how many of you learned. Little bit who knows of statistics, the significance test and the null hypothesis in the statistics, which takes this Anna Karenina principle, which was the age-old 1877 Leo Tolstoy's character, which is taken and then made into a theory. What does it say? One parameter changes, the whole system collapses. If all the parameters are set, you become happier. Why many rich people are happier? Because the requirement parameters become mostly the same. And that is satisfied, they become happy. Why poor people are unhappy? Because their one parameter loses, everything goes. Now, the situation is for the rich and poor, one parameter has gone wrong. That we are a social being, we are a human being. Our human and social entity has lost. We need to get back to that. So this is the Anna Karenina principle time where we have to understand the problem and then get into more philosophy. This time, the business, the home, the academics, everything goes into same digital. Education, earlier when we go to schools and colleges, I must have visited thousands and thousands. I have seen only computers in the administration and library and probably in canteen. Most of the principals will have trophies behind in the shelf. I used to make joke of them saying that, why are you showing your success and the students who competed and then got the trophies? As a principal, you should have a lot of books in your library. Now today, I must see all the teachers grabbing the gadgets to get into multimedia. I remember in 2005 to 2007, I was director for Academic Staff College. I first went to Educational Consortium for Communication in UGC to learn the multimedia structure, EMMRC, and then started teaching teachers, even the higher education teachers. There were no takers because they don't want to get into digital. When the conductor can use a digital, I'm sure the teachers were still and are still using. And I'm sure if the COVID problem goes and then goes into the earlier normal, all of them will go back to their normal style of teaching because we don't want to change. Probably the business people are more acceptable to change in the world. But the first people who are supposed to change is teachers. They are not changed. I don't know what will happen to education with these teachers who are really scared. Many teachers call me and I speak to many of the teachers and I found that they are scared of this teaching because it is not students alone who are listening and you don't have a see, most of the teachers and students have got an eraser or a duster. As soon as they write, they can erase it. And nobody will see this. Now today, that is not the situation. When the teachers come digitally, not the students alone, the parents are also watching teachers. And it gets into a criticism. Teachers are really scared. And I'm sure the parents will start asking, is it for these stupid teachers I am paying the fees? That question will come. But luckily, I'm sure a lot of content creation will happen. And students will become wiser to select the best content from the world and the things can change. The other day I was seeing a robot replacing the students for a Japan graduation ceremony. The robot comes in the display, the student's face is there. And this display is not a face display. It is live. From home, the student is seeing the whole scenario. It's a beautiful system. See, the mission goes and receives the award in place of the student. I don't know when we could dream such a situation. Japan is highly equipped with all the robotics and the VR and AR. We have to learn, not just learn. We have to see that it is implemented immediately. The old stuff and all that has its own value. But the new normal, new hope, that if you don't get into the manufacture and start in the new style, keep contacts with the new methods, the mobile apps, online shopping, retail logistics and pickup and delivery, the healthcare consultation on demand, making available online. If this doesn't happen, I'm sure we will have problems in these coming days. The new business, the 20% of the existing, the bank is supposed to give credit and loan, and I'm sure my colleagues who are listening to me here from the bank, they'll be able to say that government packages are very good, but it needs to get into people. The bank has to become liberal, the government has to become more liberal, the bureaucrats has to become more liberal, the clearance has to happen faster. Then I'm sure it comes to industry. Otherwise we will have new kitchens and new food style. Maybe the packages in the new ways of infrastructure could happen, but action in production will not happen. The grab and go and for daily activities it may happen, but business to thrive, I'm sure you need to have one of the best. Somebody asked me what is the best business which during this time. I jokingly said medicine for COVID is the best business today. I'm sure we are not getting that many. We have got a lot of biotechnology, microbiology people who are all idle. They don't even think about it. I don't know why there cannot be a system. Somebody can fund this and then start. We have 30 institutions in India working parallelly. I don't know how many happens in Kerala, how many in Thrissur. I'm sure there will be thousands of biotechnology and microbiology people. Ask them to look at the problem at least. Get into practical life. That is what our infrastructure facility, education institutions, so-called professors of biology is supposed to do. The home delivery services, augmented virtual reality, cloud services, net, online shopping, video communication, online learning, digital marketing, all this I'm sure everybody talks. But that is not good enough for the time to come. I'm sure the economics and technology has to go. The World Economic Forum exactly talks about 5G, MIMO, dark factory and industrial revolution 4. We had industrial revolutions, which is when we talk about the 5G, generally people don't understand it. We think that if the communication from people to people become too high. No, it is things to things has to change. When things to things has to change, I'm sure the virtual reality, augmented reality, robotics and such things can be controlled by the MIMO. And that is what should happen. The downloading speed, bandwidth, it has to change into gigabytes. I'm sure with the no disruption, things have to happen. In 2016 January, Arun Jaitley, when he had a group of people, hundreds of them, attended the World Economic Forum, we started the revolution talks. And I'm sure in 2018, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the World Economic Forum, he said India is going to lead fourth industrial revolution. The declaration happened. I don't know where and what happened after that. It is not the Klaus Schwab, when he, the professor, the fourth industrial revolution, who was the president and chairman of the World Economic Forum, when he pushed this, it is not that slow thing should happen. A telephone to get into 100 million people took 75 years, but 3D printing has gone to 3 million people in 15 years. 2 years, Instagram has reached into 100 million people. I'm sure if you're not fast enough, the skill and technology and education don't go hand in hand, you will lose the track. So we will have to get into that fast movement, and that doesn't happen. We will only talk about policies but not in action. So the design principles and goals have to be understood with the industrial revolution, with lot of smart factory, dark factory, German technology, German strategy, getting into action with all the gadgets which supports the long and short term Indian development, definitely then Kerala also will have a great development stage. That is yet to be triggered, it has to be modified. We had great problems, but those problems have been solved very clearly by great thinkers. But our investment, if when we had a oil price which helps us to make our development further, if our investment in agriculture can boost, I'm sure what happened in 1974-76 we could take it back, and in 2021-22 India could become one of the best country were self-sufficient in agriculture. Our 60% are in agriculture, and if you don't grow in that, we are not going to grow. So it is not talking in terms of policies. The management has to get into administration with a great leadership. Then if that is our starting, I'm sure we can change this India as a total, and the too fast Indian gets back to the too fast track with no risk. The plan for today and the future will be with us, and prepare for tomorrow, not just 2022, because these sort of COVID things can keep coming. It is not the first time. We are going to have much more difficult situations. It will create a lot of troubles of tomorrow. I'm sure very specific to Kerala. We have an MSME in Thrissur. We have a KIED, the Kerala Institute for Entrepreneurship Development. But we have to go from the tailoring classes, and we go beyond that. MSME should use that experienced people who are returning from abroad, and a lot of people with a lot of money, and those investors have to sit together, create some model which really make getting into the poor people, and without polarization, making lot of real life. I'm sure Kerala has less trouble in compared to other part of the states in being in quarantine. Jokingly I keep saying, because Kerala politics have made people to sit at home during Bandh and Hartal, and that was a great blessing probably. We know how to plan when the whole shops are closed, the whole life is a jam. But that is not good enough. A change in political and governmental view is not changing. I'm sure the investors and the entrepreneurs will not get into world where we can invest. We have got a great opportunity. This has to be utilized. This is not satisfactory. This is to be a government which does a routine from the bottom to top, can change, also giving lot of inputs from the planners from the top. The Pravasi, NRK, the non-resident Indians returning back, contributing 30%. I'm sure the food and vegetables, health, political stability is given. They will invest in the food, vegetable, health, and all such things. The 34 million population who are working abroad, if some of them have got a great opportunity to come back to Kerala, I'm sure they will come, but it needs a different style of working. The development versus the clearance, economic growth versus the economic development. The Kerala has economically developed, but less of growth. The social development, the life expectancy, all are high in Kerala, and we have got a good environment for inviting people. But we must change from that earlier, which I mentioned, like the lot of textile shops and then jewelers and banks and a lot of mentions, and all that has to go. We have to get into contributing towards the productive system. That is very, very essential. If that doesn't happen, hopefully the social structure will become very difficult. The youth will have problem because they will not get that money which was pumped, and then feeding the poor which was happening will not happen that great. The big contradiction which we have in Kerala, probably no dynamics on economy. One of the greatest, the powerful people who are living everywhere with goods that competitive, the world competition with the national market which we have. The strange irony, the Kerala has a great socialism, but we largely depend on the global capitalism. How can you have a Kerala socialism who depends on the global capitalism, where you can have a big contradiction where no dynamic economy happens and then we keep saying the market is to grow. The greatest paradox also is in Kerala, where the workforce have got unemployment and we have got a conflicting issue where people, 40 lakhs of people goes abroad and for job and 40 lakhs of people come to Kerala for job. What is this? Why is it happening? The Kerala socialism model probably have to be learned by real experts in sociology, real experts in economics, labor, industry, to understand how we can create a youth who are in Kerala, who are not idle and lazy, so that the youth in Kerala will jump into lot of actions and then creating money which can run inside. Don't wait for the right opportunity, create it. That is what Bernard Shaw says. Opportunity is everywhere. The key is to find a view. If you don't have vision, the opportunity will come and go, but you will not be able to use it. The performance always depends on the skill, opportunity and attitude. If I'm sure if we have got a good attitude, we can change that. If we change that attitude, I'm sure we can perform well. But immediately what we need, maybe a mega food park, food processing zones, temperature controlled warehouses, well distributed throughout Kerala. Any investment on this, I'm sure is going to give a lot of impetus to people who can cultivate, process food, and then we can start export also. And integrated agro farming, well distributed in Kerala again, with lot of agro and farming together, so that we have enough egg, enough meat, Kerala chicken. Probably we should have our own fisheries. Kerala fisheries should have a stamp which says we can sell it to all the part of the India or in the globe. The market is very, very great today, because another country which is, every country is looking for India for most of the solutions. I'm sure if this happens immediate, the value of death will not be too deeper and wider for us. The failure rate will not be too bad for us. And even if a similar things happens in the future, we will have high efficiency in the new velocity where we can stamp our life together. I'm sure I have a great dream, the capitalistic country where we have got a marginalized, informal, unrecognized street vendors who may be contributing great life. Maybe 50% of the GDP is contributed by those people, where they have got a easy to manage, agility, customization, immediate solution for problems. Why can't we organize them? My dream is to have a great infrastructure. Half of that is for this retail market and half of that which you can gift to government for support of health and police and such community services. I'm sure the 130 crores of India, we don't have to worry. 3.3 crores of Keralites, we don't have to worry. Can we worry about 30 lakhs of Thrissur? Not required. Can we worry about 3 lakhs of Thrissur to support with such a system? A realistic system where we can create an infrastructure for a retail marketing which will support all the other community services requirements. Have we have got some pockets of such infrastructure so that socializing becomes a controlled socializing? We don't require Ali, Lal, Man, Pen, George, Varki, Kumar, Pillai, Menon, who are all people in Thrissur who are very rich. We don't want such 100 rich people in one city. We want 16,000 such people in every city. I am sure India will become the greatest. Prarabhyate na khalu vigna bhaye na nichai. No people will start something with the bhayam if you are a nichan. Prarabhya vigna vihata viramanda madhya. Anything which is started, you will not leave in the middle. Vignai punah punarapi pradihanyamana you will start stamping on all the problems which you have in front and then clear your path. Prarabdhamuttama guna na parityajanti. A guna purusha, a wise man, will always find his path forward. Pranams to each one of you for the patient hearing and prayers to all of you. And thank you all, especially the TMA, which is part of the All India Management Association. Pranams to each one of you. Again, namaskaram to Sukumarji for giving this opportunity to talk to this elite, learned audience. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you, Dr. Shashikumar sir. Thank you, Dr. Shashikumar sir. It was an excellent speech. It's one of the best speech TMA ever heard.
Thank you. God bless you.
You started as a physics teacher, showing the pendulum, then moved to economist, and as a management guru, and educationist, and also a statistician. It was so excellent. Now we are moving to the question and answer session, sir. Members who is having query, either type your query in chat box or raise your hand. And the Menon mentioned here as a question. Sir, please unmute yourself and ask the question, sir. And the Menon sir was the past president of Thrissur Management Association and general manager, Kerala Solvent Extract.
Namaskaram.
Sir, unmute and
Your phone is.
Yes, sir. Yeah, namaskaram, sir.
Namaskaram.
It was a wonderful talk, and we are really happy that you found time to talk to all of us.
This is only what I can do in my life, nothing else.
Among our members, we have people like Sister George, and Vinod Manjala, who has made this a reality in Thrissur area, and we want more people like them to give employment and start industry, which you rightly pointed out.
Great to know.
We are having, yeah. So the environment which you said should change, it is taking a very, very long time, especially Keralites are very well educated. We know about our responsibilities and about our rights, but not the responsibilities. That attitude has to change. For that, a collective effort is required. But then what solution do you suggest? Elections bring new governments each year, and each person is trying to improve the environment of Kerala, but nothing has changed. What is your solution for this?
I think we need to have, like now we have a TMA.
Yes.
Is it only lectures and informations or making people aware or in action?
We are also having mentoring sessions.
We need to have a great funding with a lot of youth in action who will start making things happen, and somebody has to only monitor it in a style. Probably academic institutions could make a real action oriented activity. We have got an agricultural university. Thrissur is well equipped with all this.
Yes.
yeah, we have Kerala Agri MBA.
Yeah, but I also spoke there for MBA. But all of them will start asking, where do I get a job? See, MBA is a professional course. They should not hunt for jobs.
Yeah, we should create employment.
See, we have more than 3 lakhs of people who are called engineers. I used to get those engineer students a BTech electrical engineering and then ask them to give a screwdriver and ask them to open my switch box. The other day I posted, which happened in many classrooms in my home. I have got classrooms. I asked children to come and show. I asked the computer architectural engineer to give my laptop and ask them to open. See,
Yeah, that's required.
other than medical system, I think we have diluted all our education system. Medicine has got a real handheld experimental activity which are practical, because they have to face the patients.
Yes.
Our engineering and MBA, we call it as professional. There are people who are scared of computers and then they have a BTech in computer science.
Very true.
Very true, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Christo George, you can unmute and ask question. Christo.
So it was really interesting to hear you.
Namaskar.
Excellent talk, sir.
Thank you.
So the thing is, as rightly said, why can't we change our education system so that the practical knowledge can be incorporated while they are in college?
We had a 6 months project. I was also an executive director of an engineering college in Kerala.
Okay.
You know the first rank fellow who came out of mechanical engineering, I asked him what he wants.
Okay.
He said, I want a job near my house. I had a student who called from Kuttatakulam. He wanted to get a training on how to get into NDA. I asked him, come to Kannur. I am there. He says, I cannot come to Kannur. You tell me how to make. I said, when you have a military training center in Kuttatakulam, you can join in NDA. I said. See, we as a society become so protective.
So how is it?
Yeah, we as a society, we became so protective to our children. You are seeing a lot of people from Orissa and different part of the world coming to Kerala for work. The same age children we also have in our home.
Yes.
Do we send them for a 6 months work after BTech for a job were unpaid? We start asking them 25,000 rupees salary. You know, one of the engineering colleges in Thrissur district got a best award for all the students placed in one of the main channel. It was 6 months back. I went to that college for taking a lecture. I called him and asked, your college got 100% placement. It's something great which I never knew. I was there 6 months back. You know what he said? Only 3 students passed and all of them got a job. And who gave a job? The same owners of the college who are running company, they gave them job. I found they were thrown out of the company after 6 months. So this,
That's bad.
see, the problem is we have lot of, I am not joking when I said the Kerala entrepreneurship program which we have in, if you look at their website, you will know what is that they are doing. They cannot even run their own website nicely. See, is it not shame for Kerala to say that we are not able to produce one app for a government? Even when we give contract to somebody else, we don't know how to check it for the credibility, and we send it to across, and we say that we are the best in service in IT industry in the whole world. Unless we have got a very strict system, administration, politically highly motivated, not politicians. We want academically educated, great technologists. We had an economist as a prime minister and a technologist as a president.
Yes.
Got it?
Yeah, got it, sir.
Our youth is not venturing enough to get into politics also today.
You're right.
Our 3-4 pillars, only 3 pillars are there. One is administration, legislation and judiciary. And somebody else who doesn't have any of these role is media. But they jump into administration, they jump into judiciary, they also jump into legislation. And they will put all the arguments in the TV and they will say what is right and what is wrong. I think the whole mania is that we don't understand our system. We are trying to create a person who doesn't have a role to play the society today.
Yes.
Okay.
So mindset has to be changed in the education system. For that, there's a big part for the universities.
Yeah,
If universities is not acting, the individual engineering colleges should take a lead.
that's correct.
Put the practical knowledge.
No, we should have parallel systems. I think computer education never started in colleges and university. It started by private people. I think I'm sure if there is somebody who is coming forward to say that I'm going to see Tharoor, when he came back, he had a great plan in Cochin to have a finishing school, but he was finished by people. He couldn't make it happen. I'm sure it need money, it need a political will, and it needs some support from the society, and maybe bureaucrats should not create problems. I'm sure we could make a real opportunity for people to get into real action, and just in time. That's what I said. That is more important.
That's great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Saji George having a question. You can unmute yourself and ask question, Saji George. Please.
Hello.
Yes, able to hear.
Sir, my name is Saji. I am calling from Dubai.
Namaskaram.
I am a practicing chartered accountant here.
Great.
Okay, so as you said, see, if there is every challenge,
Yeah.
there is an opportunity. Okay, what I feel from India, what I've reached a lot of concepts.
Yeah.
Like we are making only for becoming doctors and engineers. Okay, when you said that the young generation should go into production or work, what I feel the primary sector is ignored.
Yeah.
There is not like the agriculture or the basic production. These things, how can we change the mind of the people? Even I'll tell you one example, like in the liquor shop now, people know how to stand in queue. Otherwise, we don't discipline standing in queue, either entering into a bus or entering into a train, or even in the aeroplane. We are coming from Dubai. Dubai, we will stand in a queue and get into a plane.
I know. I have been traveling to Gulf quite often.
The moment we reach in Cochin or Trivandrum, we are rushing.
Yeah.
Just like that. It's in our blood, that culture. So what happened? We have to. This is a best opportunity that if we change the attitude of the people. Even we are washing the hand every time, wearing a mask, standing in queue. This will have even keeping cleanliness in the restaurant. Even many times I felt when I come back to Kerala, when I was there, I was eating from each restaurant. But after coming here now, when I am coming back there, I feel it is not clean.
Yeah.
So this is, I threat is an
Saji, make it short. Make it short, Saji. We are running out of time. Please.
So if this situation, how we can be self-reliant, making the production in India itself instead of depending on others.
I think why you have lot of questions and lot of observations which we are aware. The reason is we are not worried about the lockdown. We are more worried about the lockups which may come if you don't listen to somebody. Now police is in action. I wish police is in action without bias, without any political bias. I am sure people will get into discipline. If we have all these hygienic thing, but how many roadside food we have?
Yeah.
The stalls which are on the roadside, we are not able to stop.
Sir, but by core of the question, I diverted the subject. The core of the question, we change the attitude of India and let us produce everything within India.
That is what I am saying. Why that is not happening is because bureaucrats, judiciary, politics and society, rich people have got a great role to play. All of them have to sit together, not maybe country wise. You can do it a district wise, a city wise, and make a model and then show to the world.
Yeah.
You don't have to think for the whole India. Do it in a small place. When we go to Northeast, we know some small village is the clean village. And people travel across thousands of kilometers to see that small village which is neat. People go to Singapore to see how Singapore is making things clean and neat. I am sure if freedom is given, one rich man from Thrissur can create a similar Singapore in Cochin, center of the Cochin. I heard this dream from one of the richest man from Thrissur once upon a time when I was working with him.
Thank you, Saji. Thank you, Dr. Sasikumar sir. We'll take last question because we are already late. Ajit Kumar, you can unmute and ask a question. Ajit Kumar.
Thank you, sir. I know it was a very enterprising talk, though I could join only very late. Now in our this session, we have got great entrepreneurs like Christopher George, Sajiti Manila, etc. But in the present state of affairs, that is in the state, where this governments are coming on, where there is no political will, absolutely no political will. And 32 or 30,000 engineering graduates are coming out from engineering colleges. It is suicidal to take risk at this stage to start a startup and then fail miserably because they don't have that mental setup to tackle the bureaucracy, tackle this politics. Then how do you think that the political will and these youngsters can galvanize and take this state forward? Maybe there are exceptions. Maybe people, I know Christopher George from 1995 onwards, they really with great entrepreneurial skill and drive is there. But how do you think the present day, present situation, how do you think the way forward is there where there is no political will and it's suicidal to start a startup?
I think wherever is possible, like either agriculture or small scale industries where you can find spare parts manufacturing in different houses. In China, we have a different situation. People don't have large companies where everything is built. They make all that part by part in different places and then assemble them together. I think we must use our electronics people, mechanical engineering people, all of them, ask them to get into some sort of a situation where they can create small labs in their own houses, produce spare parts, and somebody should look at the the quality of that to integrate and then put them together to make a system. If you start decentralizing manufacturing, because in the present day situation that is the best thing. If we can do that, I'm sure there are a lot of people who can do a lot of electronic things, bits and pieces at different places. Probably it doesn't require a large investment. Lot of people can invest a little bit here and there, and a integrated system can be generated at one point of time where you can create the consolidation, and that comes as a product. That can be for education also. I'm sure why Kerala with a lot of academic people, highly educated people cannot create content generation. If Baiju can generate content by paying a lot of money, I'm sure half of that they can do it at home and then create content and send somewhere. I remember in Thrissur we had a group of people who wanted to create something. It is almost 10 years back. I said to all the school teachers and college teachers, I am ready to give first prize, second prize, third prize for the best 10 minutes content, micro teaching, to prove that they have the ability to teach in the classroom digitally. A multimedia teaching content, if they can generate and send it for a competition sort of a thing, I'm sure we can collect and make a lot of content. There are a lot of things which people can do with the small activities around, which could collectively become a great input for a great product. That could be in education, that could be in agriculture. I'm sure why people don't. If I cultivate something I cannot go and sell it somewhere else. So I'm sure if milk can have that sort of a situation, I'm sure agriculture can have, agro can have, all that farms can have. If such collection system is possible, I'm sure like Amazon is doing distribution, we should have collection from different places. Though we don't have large area, large houses, large factory, we could have smaller factories at different places. I know people running such businesses in Northeast. I know such people running businesses in North. A small mechanical, electronics, electrical, and that has got great market in the world. That is what China is doing. Everybody is an entrepreneur. There are no entrepreneurs separate and then workers separate. They can start themselves. You just give them training and ask them to do that. We don't. We have lot of educated people, lot of trained people, lot of skilled people. All of them want employment under somebody. If that concept of employment under somebody is gone, if somebody is able to take some risk, I'm sure Kerala people can take risk because most of the parents have earned enough for next 2 generations to live. Now, why people go for job? They are ready to sit. If somebody calls me and said, "What are you doing?" My exam is over. I am waiting. For how long? 6 months. I am waiting. For what? Why do they wait? I think the waiting should be the earlier. Kunjundi Master made a statement. After 10th class, everybody would be shunted out of their houses. And don't give them food. 2 years, let them wander around and come back and say, "I want to join for +1, +2. Then only give them admission for +1, +2. The whole revolution in the world did not happen with the people at 30 age or not at 50 age. They all were between 15 to 18. We are protecting them so much, we are not allowing them to think. We are all putting them into engineering college or some college in some shed.
Sir, shall we take one more question?
I am seeing a lot of comments
Yeah,
because
Shanawaz,
questions are coming. I am not taking.
Shanawaz, kindly unmute yourself and briefly ask question.
Thank you, Sir Tony. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Shashimar, sir, for the wonderful speech.
Thank you.
I'm Shanawaz Bawa, practicing chartered accountant, presently from Qatar.
I am there. I am there. If you look at Dr. TPS Qatar, Dr. TPS Dubai, you will see what I have done in Dubai, what I have done in Qatar.
Yeah. I googled it. Okay, thank you.
Just send a comment or send a WhatsApp so that will be our lifeline.
Surely.
I just live on that. That is what my life for last 10 years.
Okay. See, I would like to ask you one thing. Now, if you look at Kerala economy, NRI remittance was the key element.
Yeah.
Now the reverse trend is happening. Majority of the Pravasis are coming back to Kerala.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the data in embassies in GCC countries, more than 6 lakh Pravasis are registered to come back to Qatar, Kerala.
Yeah.
Especially due to this COVID and loss of job and failure in entrepreneurship. Lot of reasons are there.
Yeah.
So these people are coming with some sort of savings with them.
Yeah.
Majority will have, not all, but majority will have savings with them, and they are very skilled. Unlike they came to, when they come from Kerala to Gulf countries, they were unskilled. Now they are turned into skilled employees or skilled persons.
Yeah.
How we can utilize them to improve our economy or local economy, especially? How we can?
Like you are an NRI, I am a non-resident Keralite for last 30 years. I can show other part of the country were more viable for industries and such things. Kerala is probably, I don't know what to say. We have been politically more agile. The people doesn't want growth. They have sufficient development. So it's in a saturated situation. They think that without your industry also I can live. That sort of a garv has come. When there is no requirement and you start pouring, it will create problem. That is why most of the industries, if you look at the closed industries and closed houses, you will see it's plenty. Otherwise, you must look at locally where are you from and do you have a local support with political people and such things. Then you think of what can be done locally to produce something and then manufacture, send it across. I'm sure the globe is looking for something. And you are talking about 6 lakhs people who want to return. I know maybe 15 lakhs people are waiting, not coming back because they still have a hope that they get a job back in home. That is why I said there is a cycling process. Most of the people who came from Gulf did not stay in Kerala. All of them after some time again went back to Gulf. Things will become much more normal. I am sure we are all getting into such a situation where any part of the world is good. So if you are coming back to Kerala with money, I have lot of, at least I am also a business management consultant, so most of the people who contacted me had this confusion what to start. I keep asking them, tell me which part of Kerala you are from. Do you have a society around you who will support you politically, region wise, with all that? Then we are talking about agro, we are talking about the farm. You talk about the people who have farm, what difficulty they have in different situations. That is why you see Palakkad people just go to the extreme end of the corner just beside the border and then invest there. So unless the attitude and situation of the government, bureaucracy and the people doesn't change, I'm sure like people who come from abroad, who doesn't know the real sociology and the politics of Kerala, if you don't have a local support, you will suffer. And that is one of the worry which people have. Like me also have a worry. I don't want to start something because I cannot create such a situation where though I am not politically having no affiliation. That is also a problem. You heard the other day some politician said what will happen if you are not with this party, if you go out, if you are inside, what will happen? It could be one statement, but that is actually terrifying.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now over to Sijo Polo, Honorary Secretary DMA.
I hope Sony you are recording it and you will share it.
Yeah, sure.
Also you could share my contact address and all that.
Yeah, sure. Sijo,
Sijo, namaskaram.
Thank you. Namaskaram. Thank you. Excellent section. Very practical. IJKLM and OP. I think that's how I saved the notes also.
Good.
Yeah, very interesting. To take it forward also, I was listening to few excellent questions which came back. As an entrepreneur myself, I don't know. My difficulty in Kerala for starting an enterprises over here, mostly because of bureaucracy, not because of any politicians, is what I have understood. The red tape is so strong over here, so it's so difficult to penetrate because of the high egos, not because of pride. This is what which I have understood. A person from Kuwait and Dubai, if they are here listening, I think that is what it is. It is nothing more. You have to soothe the egos to get the things done. It's easy with a lot of sweet talks. Nothing more is needed. That's small advice from me. But apart from that, I like to thank Sony, the president, who's continuously doing multiple webinars over here. And he has pulled out one more star from the sky, like you, sir. Excellent speech with your experience and with your attitude. Most of us were able to enlighten ourselves. Thank you very much. And I like to thank the technical team who was behind this for giving us a clear presentation. Thank you, the technical team. Joby is also here, and others who have been behind Sony for the technical support. And of course, all the past president, the members, the MC members, and the guest who has come for this meeting. Thank you, everybody. It has been an excellent section. Good day and good night. Thank you.
thank you, Sijo. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Sumanan.
Yeah,
He's instrumental
he was
in
my
conducting Dr. Sachikumar. Thank you, Sumanan sir. I can see. Yeah, thank you, sir. With this, we come to the end of this webinar. Thank you for spending the precious time with us. Thank you very much.